Hello, everyone, and welcome. This video introduces the Oregon Water Policy and Innovation Service and its first analysis supporting communities adapting to persistent water shortages. The full report and a summary for decision makers can be found on our website. This first year is our pilot. We have seen a need, and we're trying to figure out how to best meet that need. The Oregon Water Policy and Innovation Service is a joint project of Portland State University, Eastern Oregon University, and Southern Oregon University. Our goal is to provide objective, third-party analysis of Oregon's toughest water policy challenges. The service responds to asks from 2 or more water leaders who share a concern about the same water problem but see policy differently. In this case, the service was asked by Representatives Helm and Owens of the Legislative Water Caucus and Governor Kotek's Natural Resource Advisors to look at the following question. What options are there for the state of Oregon to help communities, especially those facing persistent water shortages and whose economies depend on agriculture and water, adapt to a more sustainable water and economic future? As part of the analysis, the service centered the concept of the stewardship economy, where achieving prosperity for people and places relies on maintaining enough jobs and investment in farming, ranching, and other natural resource sectors so there are people and communities to care for the land and water that underpin a local economy.
So across Oregon, 12 counties are experiencing persistent water shortages, defined here as a county having more than 4 drought declarations in the past 5 years. 7 of those counties also have groundwater areas of concern. These are areas where groundwater levels have declined excessively, have more permits to pump than water available, or where pumping has been restricted. For half of those 12 counties, agriculture employs more than 10% of residents and contributes to more than 5% of total county earnings. These Oregon communities have natural resource economies and ecosystems that rely on water and will likely need support in adapting to less water availability. The analysis was informed by state policies from 26 case studies and by interviews with 27 national and state experts in rural development, resilience planning, and water management. Beyond water, we also looked at lessons from places that saw closures of sawmills, declines in fisheries, and closed mines and oil and natural gas fields. Successful adaptation will mean different things to different people. Our analysis pulled together some example prosperity measures from our case studies that could indicate thriving agriculture, sustainable water management, prosperous places, and prosperous people. These measures are described more in the report.
And as our team was doing that research, looking at case studies and interviews, we identified 10 types of policy options, and we organized those around 3 pillars: community leadership, taking action, and remaining resilient. These pillars aren't rocket science, but implementing these various policy options takes intention, discipline, coordination, and commitment to fund over time with the ups and downs that come with managing for change. We tried for each policy option really to ground those in examples. So for this first pillar, looking at NOAA fisheries, they provide a bunch of information on how much fish is available to inform a catch share program. Oregon has a place-based water planning program that provides funding and technical assistance to communities to put together their local integrated water plans. Colorado and Kansas authorize local water managers. And Oregon also has experience with landscape level actions funded by USDA Natural Resource Conservation Service and Oregon Watershed Enhancement Board, and those actions are guided by local goals and funding over time. Now, once a community has good information and a good plan, it's time to take action. And so how can the state better support those communities? Some of the examples come from Colorado that provides flexibility and makes it more attractive to conserve water. California has the multi-benefit land repurposing program that provides flexible block grants to communities to adapt to groundwater shortages. Kansas and Nevada legislatures actually authorize funds to voluntarily acquire and retire water rights from willing sellers. And states have invested in helping communities diversify their economy, everything from testing new crop varieties to providing emergency farm loans to accessing social service programs. And once communities start change, that needs support over time to remain resilient. So, Pillar 3 looks at how states, local governments can take some of those actions. For example, Central Pennsylvania invested in sustaining a regional cluster of maker entrepreneurs. Chaffee County in Colorado passed a 0.25% local sales tax that created the Common Ground Fund, which provides community led grants for forest health, sustainable agriculture, and outdoor recreation management. Vermont was facing a serious decline in the dairy industry and looked to a local food initiative that set a goal of 5% of food consumption is from local. That didn't fully replace the revenue that came from dairy, but it helped communities maintain their agricultural identity and diversified the local economy. And finally, as we were talking to the various experts in the field, we heard a lot that none of these policy options happen independently, that they need to be packaged together in a coordinated way. So the report provides 3 example packages, everything from package A that focuses on executive action with existing authorities and existing state budget, to package B, which is a pilot state of appropriation of about $10 to $40 million that would be seeding a public-private partnership that it would attract philanthropic partners and federal agency partners and really look to kind of try some of these ideas out. And then package C imagines what it would look like to kind of fully provide communities what they need, particularly the counties facing persistent water shortages, to adapt over time. And that might be broader authorizations, full appropriation, and again, working with philanthropy and federal agencies. So what we decided to do was to release this report as a dialogue draft, kind of not assuming that it's complete or finished, but that feedback from you all would be very welcome. You can provide that via our website, where you can find either an email or a Google form to provide that feedback. Our intent is to have that out there, the report out there for a while. We are going to invite a webinar from some of the folks who contributed to the report, particularly from states like California and Arizona, to provide some thoughts on what Oregon might do. We'll take all of that feedback and then finish up in spring and release a final report. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for taking a look at the report. We welcome your feedback. And really, this is the beginning year for the Water Policy and Innovation Service. So if you have a water policy problem you want us to take a look at, please reach out. Make sure you bring that someone with you that doesn't agree with you. And we would love to talk to you. So thank you. Take care, and we'll be in touch soon.